Hello everyone, today is the 4th of May and we are back doing the Year 6 Oak National Academy Daily Recap. So today, I don't know. What is there to say? There's nothing to say, so let's just jump straight into this. As I always say at the beginning, you've got PE with Joe, which is optional, but I suggest you do it as it boosts your muscles and boosts your and gets you going for the day. So today would be this one, PE with Joe and Rosie, 4th of May there. So then after that, you would have, if lesson 1, you would have English here. And this unit, you're gonna focus on setting descriptions. So at the end of this week, on Friday, you're gonna write a setting description. So lesson 1, you hear, in this lesson you're going to make inferences and justify with evidence. So here you've got a video with Mrs. Fozzard. She will teach you how to solve inference questions. And she will ask you to do an example or two of your own. So after you did the example, you've got you have your independent task here, right here. So in this one here, you've got your reminders here. Reminders, independent task, reading comprehension. The following extract is taken from The Stormkeeper's Island by Catherine Doyle. So here you would read this text here. I'm not going to read it as it would take too long. There, so now, question 1, complete the table with one piece of evidence from the text to support each statement. Statement, Fionn and Tara don't have things in common. The evidence here is she was too wise and clever to hang around and play video games with him. That's taken directly from the text. And statement number 2, Fionn was more mature than Tara. The evidence here from the text is he cooked for the three of them most evenings. She used her hand to eat Nutella out of the jar and shrieks when she sees a spider. There. So, independent task number 2, Tara is a confident character. So the answer here would be, the answer for number 2, Tara is a confident character. Find a piece of evidence in the text that supports this. The answer here would be taken directly from the text. She stepped higher on the railings and she was peering over the side. Here. Number 3, when her eyes were clear and her smile was sad. What does this suggest about how his mother felt when saying goodbye? Number 3, the answer here would mean she was unhappy about them leaving, but she didn't want to show it, so she was still smiling. Sorry about that. And number 4 would be what evidence from the text suggests that Fionn didn't want to leave with the neighbours? Here, the answer here would be he had his nose pressed on the window at all times. There. So after you did that, you would have marked it, and after you have marked it, you have your end of lesson quiz, exit quiz now. So here you need to read the text here, this text, and which of the following words best describes how Fionn is feeling? So let's see this in here. Depressed, he was colour. So in this question, it would be reluctant. Tara slid a Mars bar from the pocket. What does this suggest about how Tara was behaving? Here in this answer, she was being secretive. There. Which of the options is closest in meaning to antonym? So here it would be a word or phrase that means the opposite of another word. If you are answering an inference question that asks for evidence, which of the following should you not do? So the answer here would be make up your answer from what you already know. Which of the following synonyms is not a synonym of smog? That would be clearness. After you did that, you would have finished your English there, and then you would go back to, and then lesson 2 would be your maths. So in this unit, which usually goes for 2 weeks, you're going to learn how to find missing angles and lengths. So today is lesson 1. You're going to find how to find the value of missing angles. In this unit, you're going to learn about angles. You're going to deepen your knowledge of angles by applying your understanding to find and calculate missing angles within diagrams and 2D shapes. You will also consolidate your understanding of properties and shapes, comparing and classifying 2D shapes. In today's lesson, you're going to use algebra and bar models to represent problems and calculate missing angles. So, first you have your introductory quiz. Match the angle with its name. So A would be a right angle, B would be an obtuse angle, C would be a reflex angle, and D is an acute angle. Define an acute angle pictured below. Acute angle is less than 90 degrees and greater than 0 degrees. Define a reflex angle pictured below. A reflex angle is between 90. It's more than 180 degrees, and it's less than 360 degrees. This define an obtuse angle. So here it would be between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. What do the angles around a point add up to? That would be 360 degrees. After you did that, you have a video with Mrs. Parsons again. So you're going to learn 2 things. First, how to find the missing angles on a line which is 180 degrees. So you would be given one of the angles. It's going to be split, inequally, and you're going to be given one of the angles, and you need to find out what the other angle would be. And secondly, you're going to learn how to find the angles around the point. So you're going to have a point, and then you're going to have at least two sides of the around the 2 angles. So one you would know, and the other you would have to find out. It's the same. It would be the same as the first one, just with 360 degrees instead of 180. So after you did that, Miss Parsons, she will show some examples, and she will give you 1 or 2 to do, and after that you would have your independent task here. So question 1, calculate the value of angle A. The answer to that would be 158 degrees there, 158 degrees. Question 2, calculate the value of angle C. The answer would be 39 degrees. Question 3, calculate the value of angle B. The answer would be 282 degrees. Question 4, calculate the value of angle F. The answer would be 127 degrees. In question 5, calculate the value of angles F and G. So angle F would be 135 degrees and G would be 95 degrees. After that, you would go mark your answers. And after you mark your answers, you would have your exit quiz here. So the angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. The angles around the point add up to 360 degrees. Calculate the value of angle B. The answer here would be 55 degrees. Calculate the value of angle A. The answer here would be, let's see. So 110 at 50 degrees, that would be 160. and 160 and 70 would be 230. So 230 take away is 360 take away 230. That would be 130 degrees. So the answer is 130 degrees. Calculate the value of angle G. The answer here would be 67 degrees. There. And after that, you would have finished your maths, and you would have one more lesson left, which would be your history foundation here. So you're going to learn about, today you're going to learn what was life like in Nazi Germany. Today you're going to look what life was like in Germany from 1933 to the outbreak of the Second World War. With Hitler as Chancellor and Führer, you're going to learn about how he built his ideal nation, the Third Reich. So first, you have your introductory quiz here. Match these leaders to the country that they led during World War One. David Lloyd George would be Great Britain, Georges Clemenceau would be France, and Woodrow Wilson would be United States of America. Much of the fighting during World War One took place in England. That would be false. Which leader at the Paris Peace Conference wanted to establish a League of Nations? That would be Woodrow Wilson. Adolf Hitler fought for Germany during the First World War. That will be true. What did Article 231 of the Treaty of Versailles declare? It declared that Germany was solely responsible for the war. There. After that, you have a video with Mr. Hutchinson. In this video, first, you're going to learn about how schools started to operate differently and what different subjects they taught under the rule of Adolf Hitler. After that, you're going to learn about the Hitler Youth, or kind of like the Boy Scouts, but more extreme. And then finally, you're going to learn about what Hitler thought was the role of women and girls. There. So he will ask you to pause the video and write a sentence or one or two sentences about what you have just what you would have just learned, and after that you would have your exit quiz. So in which year did Otto von Bismarck unify Germany? That would be 1871. Approximately how many children were members of the Hitler Youth by the end of the 1930s? That would be over 80%. Which race did Hitler believe was superior to all others? That would be the Aryan race. Approximately how many were killed or injured during World War One? That would be 40 million. Which of the following people was not present at the Paris Peace Conference? That would be Kaiser Wilhelm II. After that, you would have finished your history, and you would have finished the lessons for the 4th of May here on Oak National Academy, and I guess after that, well, I'll see you tomorrow, and well, goodbye and stay safe.